Take a slow breath and settle into the weight of your own presence. For once, allow this moment to be about you, not the expectations you've carried, not the impressions you've tried to make, not the invisible checklist you've been trying to complete to feel worthy in someone else's eyes. Just you, your breath, your existence without performance. Let this moment expand inside you like a gentle truth you've avoided for years. You have spent so much time trying to be enough for others that you forgot what it feels like to be enough for yourself. Validation has shaped so much of your life. Its pursuit, its absence, its promise that if you could just be more, do more, please more, someone would finally look at you and say, "You are worthy." But validation from others is a moving target. It shifts, it changes, it disappears without explanation. And when you build your worth on something that's unstable, your sense of self becomes fragile. Take another breath. Slow, deeper, like you're letting air reach a part of you that has been waiting to exhale for a long time. Seeking approval is not a flaw, it's a learned survival strategy. When you were younger, validation might have meant safety, love, belonging. It meant you were doing the right thing, being the right kind of person. But you are not that child anymore, and your worth is no longer dependent on the moods or perceptions of others. Your worth exists independently of who approves of you. Let that truth enter your chest quietly, softly. You don't need to earn your existence. You don't need permission to be who you are. You don't need applause to be enough. Validation has tricked you into believing that your value is something external, like a currency handed out by people who barely understand their own hearts. You've contorted yourself trying to fit into shapes that would satisfy others. You've softened your voice, muted your needs, performed certainty when you felt lost, displayed confidence when you were breaking, stayed quiet to avoid being judged. And yet, no matter how much you offered, it was never enough to silence the fear inside you, because you were never chasing validation. You were chasing peace, and peace cannot be found in someone else's approval. Breathe again. Feel the release behind your ribs. The approval you seek cannot fill the spaces inside you where self-worth should live. Only you can fill those. Only you can choose yourself in moments where others overlook you. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, not to inspect your reflection but to see the emotional weight you've carried. The exhaustion of trying to impress. The quiet ache of wanting to be chosen. The tension of walking through life hoping someone would finally say you are enough. Now imagine gently placing your hand against the mirror and whispering, "I am already worthy." Feel how your body shifts even slightly. This isn't arrogance. This isn't rebellion. This is truth. Your worth is not determined by how well you perform in someone else's story. You are allowed to be imperfect. You are allowed to be misunderstood. You are allowed to be yourself without justification. The people who truly care for you don't require you to shrink, soften, or polish your edges. They don't measure your value based on your usefulness. They don't disappear the moment you stop performing. Real connection doesn't demand sacrifice of self. Real connection allows you to exist without bending. And here is the truth you've avoided. When you chase validation, you invite people into your life who value the version of you that performs, not the version that breathes. Take another breath, deeper this time. Let it steady your heartbeat. You don't need validation to belong. You don't need permission to rest. You don't need someone else's approval to take up space in this world. Letting go of validation does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop negotiating your worth. Picture yourself walking through a doorway into a new chapter, not defined by how others see you, but by how you see yourself. In this chapter, you express your needs without apologizing. You speak with clarity instead of fear. You make choices based on alignment, not approval. You rest without guilt. You prioritize your heart without waiting for someone to approve of its rhythm. This is what freedom feels like. The freedom to live without chasing someone else's nod. The freedom to breathe without performing. The freedom to exist without shrinking. Take another breath. Let the exhale carry away the belief that you must earn what you already are. You are worthy. You are enough. You belong, and not because someone said so, but because you exist. And that is all the validation you will ever need. And as you breathe into this space, something inside you begins to shift. A quiet recognition that the weight you've been carrying was never yours. For so long, you mistook external approval for emotional safety, like a lantern you needed to hold to navigate the dark. But you're starting to understand that the light you were following wasn't a guide. It was a distraction. It kept you moving in circles, trying to impress people who couldn't see your depth, seeking comfort in places that were never capable of giving it. Take a slow, fuller breath. Feel the truth settle into your shoulders. You no longer need permission to exist. You no longer need applause to feel worthy. You no longer need someone else's nod to trust your path. Approval from others is unpredictable. One day you have it, the next it slips away, leaving you confused, questioning what you did wrong, replaying conversations, analyzing your choices, shrinking yourself so you won't upset anyone. You learned to bend because you believed bending was the price of belonging. But belonging is not something you earn through perfection. Belonging is something that happens naturally when you stop abandoning yourself. Imagine now that you're walking down a long hallway filled with mirrors. Each mirror reflects not your appearance, but a different version of who you tried to be to please others. A mirror of the people pleaser, a mirror of the peacemaker, a mirror of the one who never complains, a mirror of the one who smiles even when breaking, a mirror of the one who says, "I'm fine," to avoid disappointing anyone. You walk past these mirrors slowly, and for the first time, you don't stop to adjust yourself. You don't shapeshift. You don't apologize. You simply observe all the roles you played to earn validation. And then, at the very end of the hallway, there is one final mirror. This one doesn't reflect a role. It reflects your truest self, the one beneath every layer of performance. The one who existed before approval and fear and guilt shaped your behavior. This version of you looks back with steady, patient eyes. And in that reflection, you see someone you haven't acknowledged in a long time. Someone whose worth is not conditional. Someone who doesn't need to impress anyone to deserve love, rest, or peace. You raise your hand to the mirror, and this time, instead of whispering a question, "Am I enough?" you whisper a truth, "I am mine." Feel what that does inside your chest. Feel how your breath loosens. Feel how your spine lengthens. Feel how your heart makes just a little more space for itself. Letting go of validation does not mean you stop caring about others. It means you stop abandoning yourself in the process. It means you stop bending until you break just to keep someone comfortable. It means you stop shrinking to avoid being judged. It means you stop giving people power over your sense of worth. Take another deep breath. Let it fill the spaces where your self-worth once felt thin. You are allowed to disappoint people. You are allowed to be misunderstood. You are allowed to walk away from relationships where you feel like you're auditioning for acceptance. You are allowed to choose yourself even when others do not understand why. The people who truly love you will never require you to perform for them. They will never make you prove your worth. They will never withdraw affection as punishment. They will never confuse your boundaries with rejection. They will simply meet you exactly as you are. Think about the times you held back your truth because you didn't want to seem difficult. Think about the times you said yes while your soul said no because you feared losing connection. Think about the moments where silence felt safer than authenticity. Those moments are not signs of weakness. They are signs that you were never taught how to exist without seeking approval. But you are learning now. Slowly, softly, deeply. Imagine now that you are stepping out of the hallway of mirrors and into open space. There is no one watching, no one evaluating, no one expecting anything from you, just you breathing in the openness. And in that openness, you feel something you've forgotten: freedom. The freedom to speak without rehearsing. The freedom to rest without guilt. The freedom to express yourself without filtering. The freedom to live without performing. The freedom to simply be. Take another breath, deep and quiet. This is the beginning of a new relationship with yourself. A relationship where you are no longer a performer, but a participant. A relationship where your inner voice matters more than external noise. A relationship where you don't chase validation but offer yourself compassion. A relationship where you no longer outsource your worth to people who cannot hold it. Letting go of validation is not a single moment. It's a returning to the self you abandoned while seeking acceptance from those who didn't know how to give it. You are coming home to yourself, and home is where you were always meant to be.